stop. A family shop. Think Thayer. Come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
Any questions?
I guess, what are you looking to build on for for Saturday's game?
Not much to build on at all, and really, what we have to do is number one, first and foremost, we've got to stop pressing as a football team. These guys are good athletes, and I think it's simply a case of trying to do too much. We've made a lot of explosive plays over the last couple of years, and you got guys that aren't playing within themselves because it's not just one person. I think if you go back and you watch, just talking about from an offensive standpoint, I think I counted 7 guys had a ball hit him in the chest and drop it. And those guys make those same plays every day in practice. As a coach, you ask yourself, what can you do? What do I need to do? We throw enough balls. We do. They get enough balls that we throw as many balls as anybody in the country. So what you got to do is it becomes mental, and what you need to do is try to make sure that they understand that you believe in them, and you got to find a way to shut down that outside noise and continue to focus and again, to trust the process. We'll get back out there. We'll practice the same way we always do. We'll go through pat and go. We'll throw the ball around. We'll get on the tennis ball machine after practice. And really, my message to them is just try to stay within themselves, try to stay in the game, and not try to do too much.
When you have a game like you guys had,
Mm-hmm.
do you burn the game film? Do you actually go back and watch it? What do you do after a game like you guys just had?
Well, unfortunately, I've had some experience 2 times this year. You can't ignore it. Kind of like I talked to you before, you can't ignore it because you've got to use it as a learning tool. So you go and you evaluate it just like you do each and every week. Yesterday was a long day. Getting back that Saturday night was a long night, and we got a very prideful group of coaches, and we got a very prideful group of student athletes. And as their leader, what I've got to do is make sure that when I get up and I've got to face them today and that staff this morning, that my mind's right, and they know that I believe in them and I believe in what we're doing, and we'll get this thing going the right direction.
What do you do at quarterback now? Because you talked about how big it was.
Yeah. We got a good sample size of Morgan the other night, and it's kind of what we thought. He did some things that not too many people can do. He made 3 or 4 throws that there's only a few people in the country that make, and then he made some decisions that a redshirt freshman made. He's going to get some 1 reps, and I'll probably announce a starter probably about Thursday.
When you go back to the guys trying to do too much, does that put extra pressure on the start of the game? Because if you get off to a lead, then there's not this pressure to.
It's the finishing. I mean, we've had a, we've had a decent plan. Moving forward, we've got guys running open, and we're doing some good things. We're just not finishing. And again, you go down, you kick the field goal, you move the ball right down the field after you give up a score. Defense gets a stop, you get the ball back. The first play out of the drive, you dial up the perfect play. You got him on the slant, 8-yard gain, and he's running, and he just pops the ball right into the other guy's arms. What we have to do as a ball club, and really even as coaches, is you got to be mentally stronger. You got to handle adversity better, because once that happened, you saw it. It snowballed. It snowballed. Now, it is a situation to where, as coaches, you go back and you sit there and you say, okay, you got to understand that you got a team right now that may have some confidence issues, and you go and put 2 tight ends and you try to run the ball to try to slow the game down, or you go out there and you continue to run your offense and continue to be aggressive. So it's kind of a catch-22. I'm going to err on the side right now of continuing to be aggressive and continuing to do what we do, because in the long run, that will get us where we want to go.
Is one of your biggest challenges this week with conference play starting,
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that that's that and this is this, this.
No doubt.
Trying to separate.
Yeah, you've got to be able to do that. And again, that's by being consistent, and because everybody, you go through games like that. You come back in the next day, everybody's upset. Everybody's got an idea. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to do this. No, we don't. We've been here before. Been there before. Open a program, going 1-9, going 3-7, end up winning the whole dang thing 2 years later. You stay consistent. You stay true to your beliefs, and you continue to do things the right way, and everything will fall in line. And that's what we'll do.
Mike, you mentioned the second half snowballing a little bit.
Mhm.
Have you ever been part of a game like that or felt that? I know you had,
No.
you had your headset off for most of the time. It was almost just fun.
Right, and at that point, and the injuries and whatnot start to stack up. What you got to do is you got to teach. You got to teach, and you got to throw young guys out there, and you got to try to coach from the sidelines, and told everybody to get out of the box, and you're bringing out some of those guys lost a red shirt in that situation due to injuries, and so what you're trying to do is do all you can to help them get through that moment.
Absolutely. And obviously, fans love to overreact through 4 games. Kind of the big question is, how much of this is a lack of talent, maybe the cover being bare, versus how much of this is on you guys and your staff?
Well, I'm going to tell you what, it's always going to be on me, period. Bottom line. We got great kids here. And we've got some guys that have got some youth and things of that nature. And we'll get them coached up. And like I said, we'll see where this thing stands when we've played that 12th game.
Is it fair, though, to wonder put it this way, are there enough guys here that you can win right now, or did the previous staff leave this thing in not a good spot?
I'm not going to get into any of that. We have the football team that we have, and I've got a great group of young men right there in that locker room. And, some of the guys that got to start are younger, but I'm not the only coach in the country that's having to deal with that. So, this is the football team we have. I like our football team, and my staff and I will coach our asses off for the next 8 weeks.
What was your message to the guys afterwards? Was it a yelling, screaming, or was it?
No, that's
young guys?
in those moments. I mean, those are the times that they lean on you the most. And then, like I said before, when you win a game, what you say goes in one ear and out the other. And all they're thinking about is that night or what have you. But they hung on every word. And my message to them was that, hey, we're in this thing together. We love you. I truly appreciate the way they've approached. They've done things right. That was our best week of practice last week, period. And that, as long as they continue to do those things and they continue to work the right way and they continue to play together, and that's kind of the thing that we'll talk about a little bit today, because, they're hearing these questions. They've got to shut the outside out. You know what I mean? And they got to get off their Twitters, get off their social media, and they got to bond together as a group of men. And that's the only way we get out of it. It's the only possible way, only way I know. And that'll be my message to them, and that's the direction I'll lead them.
I think it's human nature probably to start questioning yourself when something bad happens. How much self-reflection is there in questioning of what you're doing? Is any of that going on or no?
No. Like I said, I believe in what we do, and I know what we do works. Has it been a long 36 hours? Absolutely. Absolutely.
When you say last week was the best week of practice, what was it that made it so?
Well, their effort, and when you get to your Thursday walkthroughs and your meetings, and the linemen, defensive linemen, they get their tests on Thursdays to make sure they understand the game plan. They were on spot. They were on point. And if you watch it, guys are fitting where they're supposed to fit. Didn't tackle. Guys are running wide ass open. Didn't catch balls. We got to get it done.
Moving forward, Coach, obviously first conference game Saturday, 50th anniversary of the Doi.
Right.
Homecoming. Would you consider this a must-win for the program?
I think we answered that a little bit earlier. Every game's a must-win. You know what I mean? And it's the next game for the program. Is it important for our season moving forward to make sure we're able to accomplish our goals? Absolutely. Because winning that first conference game is huge. And you don't want to start conference 0-1 and put yourself behind 8 ball. So big game. Every game's a must-win, and we need it.
Defensively, how much is guys getting beat? Is that position breakdowns, guys breaking down where they should be, or just flat out?
Our biggest problem right now is tackling, and then once you get in the ball game and you have a few injuries and you're throwing some kids out there that may lack a little bit of speed or what have you, whatever the word might be. It's tough, especially when you're playing a team like that, because you can hide 1 or 2 guys. But when they got 4 guys that can run, somebody's going to be one-on-one. And, hats off to them. They found them. They made us pay.
And actually, I don't know how much we've asked on Eastern Michigan. What have you seen?
Yeah, physical ball club. That's probably the first thing that jumps out to me. Coach has done a great job of getting them to play the game the right way. They've played a couple quarterbacks. I think they really want the 8 kid who's a little bit better athlete to be their guy. He got a little banged up at the end of the last game, and he didn't finish that game versus Wyoming. But they're both capable of executing the offense. They're very versatile. They'll be in a lot of different formations. They kind of do a lot of different things. They kind of don't hang their hat on one thing, specifically. And then defensively, they're going to be in the 4 down. They're going to try to mix up the coverages from cover 4 to cover 6, roles those secondary a little bit, guys. A lot similar to what Middle Tennessee did, similar to what we do. We know where they are, and like I said, by week 4, going into week 5 of a football season, you have enough of a sample size to have an idea of who your opponent is and what they're trying to do. And at this point, it just becomes a matter of execution.
They seem to be, and certainly in the Wyoming game, they did a nice job of creating turnovers defensively.
Right.
Is that something that's part of their design, or is that just kids making plays?
What that is kids playing the game the right way. They're playing hard. They're running to the football. Again, we like our matchups. They're a good football team. They play the game hard, but it's nothing we hadn't seen thus far this year.
You talk about learning process for the young kids that are stepping up right now, wearing red shirts, et cetera.
Right.
Coach, you probably answered this before. Learning process for you and the staff as well this year.
You're always learning, continuous improvement, right? But it's a new region, it's a new area, it's new teams you hadn't seen before, and learning a little bit about them, a new style of play at times. You're always learning, and the bottom line is we've played, Memphis and Ohio State are two quality football teams with great skill, to where we've had a speed disadvantage, and they've exposed it. In the rest of the games, we've played decent and we are who we are. So moving into conference play, there's I think it's all pretty even, and it's pretty level playing field.
You always talk about accountability, and you have to be the guy up here answering the tough questions.
Right.
And you always seem to put that on yourself. How difficult have the last couple of days been for you personally, and how much have you put on yourself?
Well, I put it all on myself. You know what I mean? And I believe in empowering my coaches, but at the end of the day, it's my responsibility, period. We've sat down and we've met as offensive and defensive staff, and, we spoke honestly and bluntly about some things, and I got the utmost respect for those guys, and I know in my heart they have the utmost respect for me. And the kids will vibe off that.
Which group would you say needs to improve the most, offense?
Oh, we all need to improve. Everybody. Everybody in this building needs to improve. But that's, if we were 4-0, you'd ask the same question, I'd tell you the same dang thing. That's how you become a great football team. That's how you get to where we want to go.
And what does the preparation look like for taking on such a physical team?
Well, we need to be physical as well, and we've shown that we can do that. In that second half versus who was at Middle Tennessee, I think we called 2 plays, inside outside zone, and everybody in the stadium knew what was coming, and we were able to get movement. We've got to have that kind of mindset, because looking at it, and I don't know what's going on around here in the Midwest, we've got another 70% chance of rain. Y'all are killing me. You want us to throw it around, but give me a couple of dry days at home. The kids will play, man. The kids will play, and probably moving forward, we'll probably, put a little bit more on that offensive line group. The thing going into the last week, and I'm not about making excuses, but truth is the truth. When you lose a Ben Stewart, and you happen to take a Lorenzo Tabor and you have to move him inside, who played well as a true freshman in his first start, and it takes away your big packages and things of that nature. JJ didn't practice until Thursday, didn't know if we would have him, and Austin Labus is getting his first reps coming in from a broken hand. that messes with some of your consistency. You know what I mean? Looks like we'll be healthy moving forward. So, you know, I like that.